A Friendship Beyond Differences. Episode 4. The Day of the Gunshot.
Night had fallen over the meadow, blanketing everything in a soft, quiet darkness. The moon was a bright silver coin in the sky, and stars glittered like scattered diamonds. At the edge of the forest, by the old oak tree where they always met, Luno, the wolf, waited. The air was still and cool, carrying the scent of night-blooming flowers and damp earth. Luno paced back and forth, his paws making no sound on the soft grass. His big, gentle eyes scanned the path leading from the farm, searching for a familiar, bouncy, fluffy shape. He listened, his ears twitching at every little sound, the rustle of leaves, the hoot of a distant owl. But he didn't hear the one sound he longed for, the cheerful, tinkling bell that Mimi the sheep always wore. He called out, his voice soft and hesitant, barely more than a whisper carried on the breeze. "Mimi?" The silence that answered him felt heavy. He looked up at the moon, a worried feeling growing in his chest. She was never this late. Mimi was always so excited for their secret meetings, always bursting with stories about her day with the flock. Luno remembered her sparkling eyes and her playful laugh, and the loneliness he felt before he met her seemed to creep back into the shadows around him. He thought about their first meeting, how she wasn't scared of him at all, how she saw the kindness in his eyes instead of the wolf everyone else feared. Their friendship was a secret, a fragile, beautiful thing they had built between two different worlds. Back at the farm, inside the cozy, hay-filled barn, Mimi was restless. The other sheep were sound asleep, their soft breathing filling the warm space. But Mimi couldn't sleep. Her heart was thumping with a strange mix of excitement and worry. She had to see Luno. She had a special gift for him. Tonight, a bright red apple she had sneakily saved from the farmer's orchard. Elder Wool, the wise old leader of the flock, had warned her again that evening. His deep voice was serious, full of concern. "Mimi," he had said, "a sheep and a wolf can never be friends. It's the law of nature. You're putting yourself, and all of us, in danger." But Mimi didn't believe him. Right. Luno wasn't like the wolves in the stories. He was her friend. He was kind and gentle, and he understood her like no one else did. Suddenly, Mimi's ears perked up. She heard voices outside the barnlow, angry murmurs. It was the farmer. She crept to a crack in the wooden wall and peered out. Her blood ran cold. Farmer was talking to some of the other farmhands, their faces illuminated by the flickering orange light of torches. And in the farmer's hands was his long, dark gun. "I saw wolf tracks near the fence again," the farmer said, his voice firm and determined. "He's getting bolder. We put an end to this." For the safety of the flock, Mimi's heart sank. They were talking about Luno. They thought he was a threat. They didn't understand. She had to warn him. There was no time to think. With a burst of courage she didn't know she had, Mimi found a loose board at the back of the barn. She nudged it with her head, again and again, until it gave way, creating a small opening. She squeezed through, her fluffy wool snagging for a moment, and then she was free. The cool night air hit her, and the sound of barking dogs suddenly erupted nearby. The hunt had begun. Panic surged through her, but the thought of Luno in danger was stronger. She started to run, her little legs carrying her as fast as they could across the dark meadow, straight toward the forest. The bell around her neck, usually a cheerful sound, now felt like a loud alarm, announcing her escape to the world. She ran faster than she had ever run in her life, her breath coming in short, frightened puffs. Behind her, she could hear shouts. "There's a sheep loose. It's running toward the woods." The beams of light from the torches danced across the field, searching. The barking grew louder, closer. But Mimi didn't look back. Her eyes were fixed on the silhouette of the old oak tree, the meeting spot, her sanctuary with Luno. She had to get there. She had to save him. As she burst through the last line of tall grass, she saw him. Luno was standing there, his head tilted, his sad eyes full of worry. His face lit up when he saw her, but it quickly turned to confusion and fear when he saw the panic in her eyes and heard the commotion behind her. "Luno!" Mimi shouted, her voice trembling but clear. "Luno, run! The farmer is coming. He has a gun." Just then, the men and the dogs broke through the edge of the meadow. The torchlight flooded their clearing, casting long, menacing shadows. The farmer raised his gun, the moonlight glinting off the cold metal barrel. He aimed it straight at Luno. For a moment, everything seemed to move in slow motion. The barking dogs, the shouting men, the terrified bleating of a little sheep. Luno didn't run. He just stood there, looking not at the farmer or the gun, but at Mimi. He saw the tears streaming down her face, her small body trembling with fear for him. In that single, fleeting moment, the hunger, the loneliness, all the sadness he had carried for so long vanished. It was replaced by a profound sense of gratitude. He had found a friend, true friend, who was brave and kind, who saw him for who he truly was. And that was worth everything. He took a small step towards her, his voice so soft, it was almost lost in the chaos. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for being my friend." Mimi cried out, a heartbreaking sound of pure sorrow. And then a loud, sharp crack echoed through the night. The gunshot split the air, silencing the dogs, the shouts, and the world itself. Some friendships are brave, some are rare, and some change us forever. Thank you for watching this story. Please give me a like and subscribe to support me, and so you won't miss the next stories.